Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome back to probably my worst idea for having an LP, and that is of an MMO. We've only barely begun Final Fantasy XIV, barely even scratched the surface, haven't even fought any monsters yet, and we probably won't for at least a couple videos, assuming I'm going to maintain the pace that I expect. But like with Final Fantasy XIV, I've always kind of wanted to finish this storyline. I have my doubts that this is going to be that time, but let us find out what Mother Mayon has for me next, which I happen to actually know is basically learn the city, learn the rules, learn how fast transportation works. Close to home. Oh yeah, I need to learn 3 tasks, which is how to attune to the Ethernet. Cute name for its fast travel system. The Aethernet, I think it. Yeah. I need to go to the Conjurer's Guild, I think, and I need to stop by the market because there's somebody there that loves liver pie. So if that says anything about my habits in regards to playing this game, it's that I tend to play the same type of character over and over again, and I tend to make new characters and then end up playing through the tutorial section multiple times. Let us begin at the beginning, shall we? Now that you are a formal member of the Adventurers Guild, we must be sure you have a firm grasp of the fundamentals of adventuring. To that end, I have 3 tasks I wish you to perform. Your first task is to visit the Aetherites. The massive crystal stands in the middle of the Aetherite Plaza, not far from the Carline Canopy. As a device that enables instantaneous transportation, the Aetherite plays a key role in the life of the ever-wandering adventurer, and it's very useful. As somebody who's played lots of World of Warcraft, the idea of instantly traveling between every single area in the game is amazing. World of Warcraft still requires you to either have a Hearthstone linked, fly by Griffin, take a boat. Now they've done better. There are portals in each of the main towns. So Stormwind is linked to Ironforge, which is linked to the other main towns. But in order to access those portals, you have to find them in the city. And if you don't already know where they are, then so you gotta find a guard in order to find the portal. But if you want to go to some of the smaller towns, you want to travel from Stormwind to Elwyn Forest, or Stormwind to what is another Westfall? You've got to actually either you've got to go there, unlock the flight point, and then fly there. Whereas opposed to this game where you go there, you unlock the teleportation point, and then you just teleport there for money. So I guess there's always a price to be paid. Once you have located the crystal, all you have to do is touch its surface. A member of the Wood Whalers will be present to offer further instruction. For your second task, you are to visit the Conjurer's Guild. There is no better place to learn the acts of conjury. Speak with Medell, and she'll explain the benefits of joining the guild. One of the benefits of joining the guild is not having to instruct a young conjurer who believes the best path in conjury is to not conjure. That is not a benefit, but you have to do it nonetheless. For your third and final task, I would have you visit the markets at the heart of Old Gridania's commercial district. There you will find weapons, armor, and all the various items that adventure might need on her travels. There is, however, more to the markets than buying and selling goods. Speak with Parsemontre and listen well to his counsel. That is how I'm assuming you pronounce his name. The master merchant can be uncooperative at times, so be sure to offer him one of my famous eel pies. Eel pie. Is it famous because it actually tastes good? Like so many men, he is much more charitable when his stomach is full. Here, I made a batch not long ago. So, slightly olden eel pie. You have your task, Snella. May Nofika guide your path. And one more thing. Should you happen to come across any citizens in need, don't be afraid to proffer a helping hand. I am certain they will be pleased to meet an adventurer in whom they can confide their woes. Granted, the work they offer is unlikely to be of realm-shattering importance, because, hey, you're only level 1 anyway. Like, what kind of work are you expecting to do? You expecting to fight some primals? You're like level 1. You're not even going to do that for like a good 40 levels. But prove your worth and build a reputation, and in time, folk will be more inclined to entrust you with matters of moment. That's an odd phrasing, matters of moment. Like, it doesn't necessarily sound important. It sounds immediate. I also suggest that you lend an ear to the smith here in the canopy. The smiths are trusted representatives of the Adventurers Guild, and are an invaluable source of advice for neophyte heroes seeking to attain greatness. What is up with the bow on his arm? Like, what are the like, you can see these X's are meant to hold his coat together. Like, this bow ties it around the back of her neck so that she's not flashing everybody. But what's with the bows on his arm? Are they just decorative? And thusly, there is the aetheryte found inside the city. I especially like they're almost like beacons of light on maps. You see them in the distance, and they're almost like a lighthouse in how they landmark locations, which often makes them kind of like a saving grace when exploring. You attune to the aetheryte. Greetings, adventurer. I see you are faithfully following Mother Mion's instructions. How does this person know that I'm... Or are there just so many adventurers who are like... Does Mother Mion, like, just hand out that same quest to everybody? Allow me to offer you a bit of instruction myself. I am Nietzsche of the Wood Whalers, and I know a thing or two about the aetheryte. Yes, that big crystal right there. Aetherites are devices that tap into ethereal energies and are primarily used as a means of travel swiftly from one place to another. Return and teleport, the most common transportation spells, make direct use of aetherites and their connection to the flow of ether. And as these devices are found in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer worthy of their name will wish to seek out and attune herself to each one. Truly, a few things in this world are so useful to an intrepid explorer. But you need not locate them all at once. Before rushing out into the wilds, I suggest you start with the aetherites found here in Gridania. Should you wish to learn more about the aetherite or transportation magic, I'm here to answer your questions. And now I have the ability to return to town. I don't know if I have the ability to use teleport yet. Where have I moved? Alright, so there's return. I probably don't have... Yeah, I have not learned teleport yet, but it is already on my bar. But there's also, like... What's also very convenient is the fact that there are... smaller aether pieces, crystals, throughout the town itself. Which allow even, like, more minute fast travel within towns, which is especially useful considering the size of the town. Without having to worry about running from one end of the town to the other, you could just be like, I'm just going to unlock this aether and just fast travel there. And then once you unlock all of the Aethernet shards, that enables you to just teleport outside of the town. So... There's a lot of energy that's spent in this game specifically about getting places quickly, and that I feel is something I can appreciate, especially after playing original World of Warcraft, where it's like, oh, hey, you want to go to the to Kalimdor? you're going to have to walk all the way through the wetlands to Menethil. You're going to have to sit there, wait for the boat to show up. You're gonna have to take the boat there, and it's like, oh jeez, why does everything take so long? Parsemontre, you and your horrible mustache. By what right does a fledgling adventurer presume to address Parsemontre, master of the markets? You think you can stroll in here bold as you please and demand my hard-earned knowledge? Ha! A merchant does not for naught, especially when dealing with would-be heroes. If, on the other hand, you had some tasty morsel to curry my favor. It's too bad I didn't actually have curry instead of a pie, because then that would be like double pun. Then I might consider your request. Come now, this whole encounter reeks of Mion's handiwork, and more specifically, her baking. Don't be so surprised, lass, I smelled that eel pie of yours a malm away. How far away is a malm? Mother Mion's realm-famous eel pie, served only in her fine establishment, the Caroline Canopy. That flaky crust, just divine. What, he's all about the crust? Like, what kind of person, like... That must be either really good crust, or they must be a very specific person that eats a pie for the crust. Just divine. Very well, I am a man of my word. Pay close attention, for I shall only explain this once. This is true. The aspiring adventurer need look no further than the rosewood and ebony stalls. Both are but short stroll from where we stand. If you mean to do battle, you'd best be prepared with a quality set of weapons and armor. Such goods are the province of Rosewood Stalls. Directly south of here, you'll be pleased to learn that the merchants of Gridania are exceedingly particular when it comes to craftsmanship, so you wouldn't need fear defective straps and the like. If it is potions and paraphernalia you seek, head north to the Ebony Stalls, which look exactly like the previous stalls. The shelves are lavishly stocked by widely traveled Ul'dan merchants, and I may truly say that I have seen things amongst their myriad wares that I scarce knew existed. Do you follow me thus far? The first step in any purchase is to select the stalls that meet your needs. Then you may concern yourself with price and profit. There is little more that I can teach you with mere words. Go peruse the stalls and see for yourself what wares they offer. There is no substitute for first-hand experience after all, and I am wary of talking unless you have another eel pie. I do not have another eel pie, so you can be finished in talking. It's interesting that we're getting such a description of these specific stalls. Oh, hold on. Wow, I just span myself right round. Because, like, these are the only stalls that get really specified. Like, when we go to Ul'da, I don't remember if we get any, like, special descriptions, or if we just aren't able to access that particular quest. But really the stalls themselves are just kind of decorative story, because really it's all about, do we go to a tradecraft, a tinker, an arms mender? For now, we will move on and head towards the Conjurer's Guild. Oh, they're doing Valentine's Day stuff. Alright. This is how you date this video? But okay, I'll stop now. And now to discuss my entry into the Conjurer's Guild. You seek the secrets of conjury, adventurer, then search no longer, for you have found your way to the Conjurer's Guild. Is it at my own request that you have come? Then allow me to provide you with an overview of what it is to be a conjurer. Conjury is the art of healing and purification. Its practitioners harness the power of nature that they might bring about change in the form of spells, primitive magic, such as that once wrought by individuals known as mages, meaning those with the ability to manipulate aether, has existed since the dawn of time. It was not until some 5 centuries ago that conjury emerged from this shapeless agglomeration of spells and charms, an event which led to the founding of Gridania. So Gridania was built on? You could almost say that Gridania was conjured up. In those dark days, the elementals would not suffer man's presence in Twelveswood, forcing our forebears to make their homes beneath the earth, in the great subterranean city of Gilmora. But their desire to settle in Twelveswood continued to burn fiercely. Time and again they sought to curry in the elements' favor. Unlike men and other creatures bound in temples of flesh, the elementals are beings of pure ether. Recognizing this, the mages of Eld reasoned that their talent for etheric manipulation might allow them to commune with these theretofore enigmatic entities. It took 5 long decades, but our forebears finally succeeded. They rewarded the elementals permission to dwell in the Twelveswood. So it was that the nation of Gridania was born. You know, I came here to sign up for the Conjurers Guild, to not get a history lesson on the founding of Gridania. Since that time, the elementals have taught us to live as one with nature, speaking to all Gridanians through the hearers, those mages who are able to commune with them. And for their intimacy, with the elementals, the hearers would go on to attain greater mastery over the forces of nature. Thus did they conceive the art of conjuring. I hope this has helped you gain a greater understanding of the Conjurers Guild. Should you wish to delve further into the mysteries of conjuring, then I urge you to consider joining our ranks. I can begin your initiation whenever you desire. Call upon me when you are ready to take the first... Isn't that why I'm here? Yeah, that's probably why I'm here. But I'm going to go back to Mother Mion. Although what I think is interesting about this game, if I remember correctly, it's a carryover from the original version of Final Fantasy XIV. The idea that it's your equipment that matters more than it's your like experience, or should I say your class. So your equipment denotes your class. So because I'm holding a staff, that makes me a conjurer. If I was holding a sword, that might make me a different class. So all I have to do to switch classes is really just to switch weapons. So that's why eventually there's going to be armor sets that I could swap out to. But for now, at least until level 10, I remain a conjurer. And probably for longer than that, because then if I decided to multi-class and do this Let's Play, that would really drag things out. Just saying. The conquering hero returns. You have completed my little tasks, I trust. The 3 locations you visited will feature prominently in your life as an adventure. It is best you grow familiar with them as soon as possible. The market? Not really. I mean, the market's not going to play that big of a role. I guess maybe later on. I don't know. Well, it's really just the Aether piece and the Conjurers Guild, really. And you took the time to listen to the woes of the citizenry? No, actually I didn't. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to lend your talents to one and all, no matter how trivial the matter may seem. I am thankful that you are an obliging sort, Nella. It is adventurers like you who will win the hearts of the locals and pave the way for those who follow. I pray Gridania can rely on your aid in its struggles to come. Excellent. I've done it. I've saved the kingdom. Bernadette, what are you looking for in life? A good adventurer? Why, Bernadette, if you think a good adventurer is hard to find, then I hate to disappoint you, because you have found one. Newly come to Gridania, are you? In search of fame and fortune, perhaps? If you have confidence in your abilities, I urge you to speak with Chancelope of the God's Quiver. You can find him standing vigil before the Archers Guild. The creatures of Twelves would have been behaving most unnaturally of late, and it has fallen to the gods' quiver to pacify them. Alas, they are sorely undermanned. For this reason, they seek able adventurers to supplement their ranks. I am certain that your offer of aid would be well received. Bernadette sent you to me? Well, inexperienced or not, if you wish to prove your worth to the people of Gridania, you were right to come. You do wish to prove yourself, do you not? I do. How are you aware of this one? Ordinarily, the forest fungars that inhabit the central shroud are not more than a nuisance. However, we have received reports that vast clouds of the creature's spores have rendered parts of the Twelveswood impassable and ruined crops besides. We periodically cull the fungar population in order to prevent such occurrences, but the creatures have taken to spawning out of season, making it ever more difficult to keep their numbers in check. Though this is indeed a troubling development, the gods' quiver has more pressing concerns than saving our farmers and protecting our people, and can ill afford to waste time fighting fungars. If you wish to prove yourself, go to the central shroud and exterminate 6 of these pests. Use caution and approach them one at a time, lest your adventuring career be cut disappointingly short. So, it's the staple, really. This is a staple quest of MMOs in general. Go to the place, kill 5, 6, 7, 3, what have you, of some specific group of monsters, as a means of dealing with a large group of people that has kind of become an insurgent. Like, I always fondly remember the Horde encampment east of your starting territory as a human starter in World of Warcraft, because like this is just this small valley, and for some reason there's this group of like level 3 through 5 orcs just kind of across the river, and they're always there. There's no way to get rid of them. They will always be there, no matter how many of them you take out. There will always be wolves stalking the valley. Because, like, an MMO is a static experience. Now, later on in World of Warcraft, they added more instant things, and on one hand, as a story that's interesting, because then you can actually see change. It's no longer a static experience. You can see changes in your environment. But, like, sweet. It does not necessarily work well for the style of an MMO that requires a person to possibly go out into a map and farm for items and farm for materials. Especially this game, where you could reclass yourself, but your classes always start at level 1. So you decide, okay, I'm going to become a archer, I think is one of the other classes, a lancer. So you switch weapons, but your weapon starts at level 1, so you might not have quests available because you've completed all of them as one of your other classes. So the only way to level up is for enemies to be present. So that means that the forest fungwars can never truly be culled. Their population will always be exploding because there will always be need for adventurers to level themselves up upon them. Now, like an alternate approach perhaps to fixing that is to possibly allow heroes to travel to multiple points in time so that they could travel to the world prior to certain story events. But then that might make things kind of screwy, because, like, how do you act as a community? How do you see other people in a community if you are existing at a different point in time than anybody else? So, like, the idea of having that quest where it's like you must kill 5 of these people in order to prevent their population from exploding means that, it'll always be available, and 2, it'll never be complete. Alright, Chancellor. Your quest is done. Well, well, the fledgling adventurer returns, and none the worse for wear by the look of it. Ha! You may yet be of use to this nation. On behalf of Gridania, I thank you. What will I get? A hat! A dumb-looking hat, but still, it's a hat nonetheless. Thank you for watching. Questions, comments, recommendations for something to play next? Comment down below, or send it on over to itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. That's itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. So long for now.